Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of our RPG series. In today's episode, we're going to be starting off with our inventory system. We want to make it short so that we can get back and do the archery system. So we still have a few systems to build out before we can start polishing some of them. But let's build out let's begin the building out of our inventory system. So we have our little playable area here, and the next thing we're going to do is to start the UI of our inventory system. So the initial plan of the UI is going to be something like this. So it's going to be tabs like that, where you can move different tabs to different pages. So the first page will be our inventory system. So this will be when, I don't know how we'll do it. We can either make an inventory button or we can set it to be a pause button. If you hit pause, it'll open up the inventory and pause the game, or we can have it be paused, then there is a button to say view your inventory, or we can have a dedicated inventory button. Whatever way we'll go with, that's the way. Then the next part will be our skill tree, the next tab. Then the final tab will be the current quests that we have. So those two will come to fill them in when we are filling in the particular systems. So right now, since we're doing the inventory, we'll concentrate on the first tab, but we'll put all three tabs, then we'll go from there. All right, so to achieve what we're trying to achieve here, let's bring the console back down there. We're gonna go to main character, under the HUD, and the stats, with this under the HUD with the stats, with the dead screen, we're gonna add a new empty game object that we're going to call player menus. This includes the rest of them. So inside that, we're going to go and create a UI panel. So let's go to the player menus and just hold alternate to scale it. That's it. So for our panel, we're going to go with a darkish color. Then we're going to go and call this background panel. In our background panel, we're going to create a new UI image, not panel but image. We want it to be another panel. Want to be a new UI raw image. Going to take it to the top like that. I'm gonna go into the 2D view here, go to our raw image, and then we're going to call this button folder. So we need to style it up just a bit. First of all, we're gonna move it down just a few so that it matches the health bar there. Then we are gonna scale it. We just leave a full box width, and also this way we're just gonna leave a full box width. It's gonna be like that. So we go back to our panel, just increase that a bit, like that. So now onto our image here. On our image here, we are going to go to our GUI, sliced images. Let's go to our window. Then let's look at what we can use here. I want it to be something much more dynamic. Alright, let's see. That's the next closing button. The arrow buttons. Alright, I think we'll go with this. So we are going to give this purple looking bar as a texture. There we go. Then we're going to add new images. So UI image, and then we're going to take it to the left, and then we're going to call that decor 1, so like decoration 1. To get that to decor or decal, let's call it decal, so decal 2, and also decal 1, let's say decal 1. Then decal 2, we're going to move it to that side. So we're going to slap this texture on those two. So we're going to give that there, and then we're going to give that there. The only difference is that on 2, we are going to rotate it a total of 180 on the Y, so that it's like that. Okay, you can see how it is there. Then we're going to get both of those guys. Okay, let's use 1 first. Let's go to 1, and then let's get to our scaling. We're going to scale it forward and down and forward and down. Like that is fine. We might even decide to say, let's add the what's the name? Yeah, the mask. Oh my gosh. We might say let's add the mask to the holder. So we could say mask, and then that way we could scale this out, and it would never actually get to become out of that mask. So we can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes, and then we've got half and 1. Let's just make this a full one. There, perfect. Then on the other side, we're going to go to take out 2. We said this is taking 4, so let's go 4, and then let's go down like that. There we go. So you can see what we have on the game view there. Now we're going to come to the button holder. Let's actually come to the button holder and then create a new empty, call it buttons. Then inside of that empty, let's add our first UI button. So it's going to be a text mesh pro button. So we're going to obviously scale it up so that it matches our. We're gonna bring it back this way. Nice, nice, nice. Might make this the width of it 300. That's what I might do. And then we're going to rename this button to inventory. Then we're going to add 2 more. So one is going to be inventory and skills for our skill system. Then finally, the final one is gonna be the courses. Okay, so now we're going to get the skills, move it to the left to the center, and then the quests, we're going to get this, and then on the quests we're going to just say positive like that. Now we don't want the buttons to be like that, so we're going to come to our button group here and add a horizontal layout group, which is going to group them to one side like that. Just there, and let us move our layout group to the middle, somewhere there. Nicely done. Then we're going to go to our layout group, and then we're going to add a bit of space, not too much, so something like 4 will do nicely. Nice. We'll give it some padding from the top and the bottom of 2 and 2. There we go. That's it for our buttons. We're just going to give them some styling as well. So let's come over to how are we going to style these buttons. What styling are we going to use? And everything like that. And we have that. We could go with that, I guess. Alright, let's go with that for the buttons. So let's select 3 buttons. I'm gonna give them that, like that. Nice. Then inside inventory, let's just create another UI image. No, not inside all of them, just inside of inventory. We're going to create UI image, which we're going to give that, and we're going to scale it to the size of the button, like that. So the text is going to come above that. So you can see that these two look like they're not selected, and that one looks like it's selected. Then we're going to call this selection gradient. Perfect. So let's give the names something. So we're gonna say inventory. I still haven't brought in. Just give me a minute. Let me bring in some fonts. Okay, so we're still having issues with the font. So let me just pick one of the pre-developed fonts that Unity comes with, or this one, until I figure out what could be happening. Inventory. I'm gonna change the text to large. I'm gonna give it some. Then we're gonna do the same for the other two. So we're gonna do the same for the other two. Let's just do that right now. Give them the same font. Give them the same color. Then we're gonna call one students. Then the other quests. And inventory text. Let's change that to 35. While the others remain right there. So when we hit play, what you should have is that, like that. Perfect. So that's our buttons done. The rest we'll deal with in script. So we can close our button holder. So I'm going to create another empty now here, and then I'm going to call this panel holder. Then in the panel holder, let's just scale the panel holder up. I want it to be somewhere there. I want it to match where our buttons are, but I want it to go all the way to the bottom there. That's our panel holder. Beside it, we're going to create UI raw image. Let's make it that. Then this raw image, this whole panel holder actually, we're gonna move it up to the middle of our buttons like that, so that the panel holder will go behind our buttons like that, so that our buttons seem like as if they're on top of the panel folder. You can go with whichever thing you feel like here. That's up to you. So here I'm going to call this inventory, then duplicate it 2 more times. Call this skills, and finally call this quests. In our inventory, let's go back to our GUI, slice images, and then let's try to find something that will fit this. So I'm going to go for a menu style. Maybe not. Or rather, let's go for a window again. Right. Let's go for this one. So let's come to our 3 panels and let's give them all that one. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Then we could actually add those guys at the bottom here to match it, but I'm not gonna do that. But you could absolutely do it. So now inside this, we're going to give it a grid layout. So grid layout group. Then inside of that grid, inside of that image or object, let's add UI or image. So let's call this image, and then let's duplicate them. That's 15, 14, 15. I'm not gonna have more than 15. But what we're going to do now is to say inside our grid, we're gonna give them a spacing of 4 by 4. Okay, so let's change this back. Instead of it being there, let's put it back just at the bottom there, so that we can make this go back like that, because we're having a bit of an issue there. So let's go to our panel, then let's add that grid group, and let's create our UI raw image. Oh my goodness, let's put that like that. We come back here, then let's put this back to 250. So our raw image is right there, and then I actually think we can still go with what I want to. Just move that up there, move that up there. Now we can still go with it. There we go. So this is our image, but inside our inventory we've got this layer group. So let's say 200 by 200. Then let's say padding from the top of 10, 100, of 80, of 70. And to the left, a padding of like 10, 30. Yep. Then we're going to now get our raw image, and duplicate it, and duplicate it, and duplicate it. Okay, those are the 4 images that we have currently. We're gonna go back, give them some spacing on X. Let's say 4. Okay, so that even those that are at the bottom will be the same. So let's just get all of these and duplicate them one time. That's 8. That's 12, and there we go. So we could now come back to our inventory and then change this to like 5. 5, or even 8, 8. Well, there's 10. Let's go with 10. So those are our inventory slots. So on this side, we're going to have another thing called the equipped weapons and stuff, but this will be like the bag of things that you have. So if you pick up something, it'll be added here, and then you'll be able to see its numbers increase, being up many, whatever. That's the plan. So now let's close that. Let's go back to our player menus. Let's go into our scripts. If we go into our player controller, we're going to create a new folder in here called inventory. Then inside of this, we're going to create a new C# script called the dynamic tab controller. Alright, so we're going to place this onto our player menus as long as it finishes doing that. Okay, we're going to place that there. We're going to open that up with Visual Studio. It's nice. So what do we want to do with this? We want to make it dynamic, where if you decide to have more tabs, you can just add them and it will not cause you a lot of work to have them functioning like the other tabs. So we are going to remove the comment and the update. Now at the top here, we're going to say public. We're going to say a list of type. We need a type. It's going to be of type object. Then we're going to say tab. This is the tab panels, and we're also going to have the public a list of type object, and these will not be tabs either, but tab buttons. Let's actually make it button, not game object. Let's say, because we make it game object, we have to go and say game object to get button. So let's just say button, and then let's just get that and move that and put that there. Then in our start, we are going to create a function called show panel, and the panel is going to have an integer of panel index. So in this case, show panel 0. So this is the first panel we're going to show upon this being created. So we'll say first panel to be shown. Then we're going to now come and say for int I is equal to 0, I is less than tab buttons, not tab panels, tab buttons, tab buttons dot count I plus plus. So we're going to use a for loop here. Then what we're going to say now is int I, int index, let's say int index is going to be equal to our I. So the index of the currently selected tab. Then the tab buttons, the index of I dot one click dot, we're gonna add a listener. We're gonna add not dot but dot listener that, and then we're going to say go. We're gonna call our show panel method, our show panel function. So then it's going to have the index. So let's come here. We're gonna need that function, but we'll come back to it. Actually, let's do it right now. We're gonna say void show panel, which is going to take integer index, and then we're gonna say vector 3 button. Remember the gradient we created? Want to get its position here. Gradient position is gonna be equal to the buttons. So it's going to be equal to read its object first. So we're gonna say public, or rather let's make it serialized field. Serialized field game object gradient effect. Then we are going to now come here and say gradient effect will transform the position. So now the next thing we're going to do is we want to hide all panels if they are not already hidden. So hide all panels if not already hidden. So we're going to now use a for each loop. For each in tab panels. So we're going to say for each bar panel in tab panels. Then we're going to say panel dot set active false. That way we can then just show the selected panel. So first of all, before we show the selected panel, we're going to set the gradient to set the gradient parent to the active tab. So what we're going to do there, we're going to say button gradient position dot, not that one, we're going to say what is it called, the gradient effect, gradient effect dot transform dot set parent. What we're going to set it to is gonna be the tab button at the index, okay, at the index dot transform. Then we are going to do one more thing. So gradient effect dot transform dot position is going to be equal to new vector 3 the buttons at index, then dot transform dot position dot x, then on the y we are going to get its original button position dot y, and then on the z we're going to now get again this part here. So just copy this type it, then dot z. So what we're saying is that the new parent will set the position of the z and the x, but it will maintain its original y position. Once we've set that, we're going to now say panels, tab panels, index.setActive, we're going to set it to true. And that's it. Our tab system is now going to be functional. We are now going to have a functional tab system. So obviously we've got the gradient effect. So we're going to go into our button holder, into our buttons, into our inventory. Then we're going to put our selection gradient there. Then the tab panels, we're going to come down here. We know we've got 3 of them, so we'll do that. For the buttons as well, we know we've got 3, so we'll do that. Then we will say inventory as tab 1, skills as tab 2, quests as tab 3. Let me just move inventory back to the top so we can get those 2 guys, set them off. Then for the buttons as well, we're going to come back there, inventory as button 1, skills as button 2, and quests as button 3. And that's it. So now once we hit play, we do have our inventory, and when we select skills, you can see it has moved to the skills, and when we select quests, you can see that it has moved to the quests. But what we need to do now is to make sure that once we are in this, it should only be UI mode only. The game mode should not be it should only be UI mode. But we'll set that up later. The another thing that we need to do is to change the text. So let's go back to this guy. We want to change the text as well. So we're going to say we're going to have another list, public list type text match for UGY. We're going to say this is button text. So now here where we are setting that true, we are also going to say button text at the index dot text, or rather text dot text dot how do we access this? Let me see how it's looking in Unity. When we come to our image, not that, but to this guy, and then this text with font size. So we're going to say the text dot, or rather dot font size. There we go. We're going to set it to be equal to what did we say that was? 34, I think. 34. And then we want to set the other text back to 24, I think. Let's say for each var text in button texts, I'm going to say text, then we're going to say text dot font size is going to be equal to 24. Once we set that like that, that's good. We should now have a situation where our texts also grow depending on the selected pattern. Okay, let's go back to this guy, and let's rename this text. So say inventory text, and we'll name this other one as skill text, and finally we'll name this one as quest text. Once we come here, we do have a third area. We're going to do that so that we put our text. So inventory text is 0, skills text is 1, and quest text is 2. So when we hit play now, there we go, our inventory is that, and you can see our skills is the one that has changed size, and our quests is the one that has changed size. Well, the rest of these have gone back, so you can see that. Oh, there we go. There we go. So we're going to leave this here, and you can see what we're trying to build. If you've enjoyed this episode, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the channel. Do all that great stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one.